Nice little bonus video that I wanted to do today. Let's get it started. Welcome to Resell Robin, guys. Today I'm actually going to be covering some games that were lost in Japan. It's a new series we're going to run periodically, but it's games that never came to America, and I typically will try to do a series. And today I'm actually going to be covering Evangelion, the games a handful of games for different consoles that released in Japan that never came out in America. The Evangelion series was truly lost in Japan. And I want to cover my thoughts on some of these games that I picked up and what I think of them, and let you guys know maybe you should pick some of these up. I'll, see what you guys think. It's just a fun little series. Don't worry, we're not detracting from the hidden gems or any of that good stuff. The PS4 video is still coming, and Xbox is coming on Sunday, so don't worry about that. But sit back, relax, let's cover some Evangelion games and start the new series, Lost in Japan. Konnichiwa, guys. All right, so we're actually going to get this started. First one I'm going to cover is actually Neon Genesis Evangelion Girlfriend of Steel. This released on the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation 1 as well as PC, if I'm not mistaken. But I believe it released on the Sega Saturn first. It's actually like a dating sim game. Whereas, basically, it has some cool animation in it, and then a lot of hand-drawn stuff that's unique to the series. You'll be navigating, basically, if you know dating sims, you know where I'm going with this. Shinji pretty much encounters this new girl character to school, and there's like a little tension between him and Asuka and her, and there's like different decisions to make, so you can influence how the story is going to go for the early days. I mean, there's really only 3 endings, but it's really cool. Early days of Evangelion. It's definitely a classic. If you're into dating sim games, you'll enjoy it. And if you're into Evangelion, I think you'll enjoy it. Other than that, probably stay clear because there's not really a lot of gameplay. And if you don't read Japanese or have a fan translation, you're definitely going to struggle on this one. As a collectible, it's definitely worth picking up. But in general, it's fun. It's a fun little distraction. Great little story. And I would say it's not a must pick up, but I do think it's definitely worth owning if you're a fan of Evangelion. So not a bad pickup in my opinion. Now we're going to move. It had a sequel, actually, Girlfriend of Steel 2. This actually released on the PlayStation 2, and I believe there is a port for this and the first one on the PSP, which is region free, which is probably the best way to play it. But I actually have a collector's edition version of Girlfriend of Steel here too on the PS2. Same thing basically as the first game. On this one though, instead of an original story that involves a new character in the middle of the TV series, this takes place during the what-if scenario at the end of Evangelion, where basically, it was like the school days and, all that kind of fun stuff. And it's basically a dating sim where you have to choose between best girl of Ray and the best girl Asuka, as well as, there's a Kaji ending, I think, which is funny, but you're not dating him or nothing like that. But then Karu, for those of you out there that ship Karu with Shinji, but it's another fun little dating sim game, another classic that came out back in the day. And like I said, all of these games never came out in the West. And I get why these dating sim games didn't. I don't think it would have translated very well, unfortunately, in the US. And also the amount of translation that would have been involved in this heavy. So I get why it didn't. But I think overall it's something that probably you should add to your collection. It's not very expensive. They're like 15, 20 bucks. You can still get them, and I would if you're an Ava fan. Now, this one's a really interesting one that came out on the PlayStation 2 only. There's no port of this or anything on anything else. Detective Evangelion. Now, this is a really weird game. You're basically, someone's killed, and you're basically trying to solve the murder while you're playing as Shinji, and you have to ask questions. You get to walk around a little bit. You're basically, like, straight out of Phoenix Wright, you're basically trying to, like, figure out who did it or what happened, and, like, there's literally an objection moment in there, and it's really funny. It's definitely unique, I will say that. It's if you don't read Japanese or speak Japanese, this is going to be a real pain in the butt to play, but graphically it's cool, and I muddled my way through it, and I think if you're an Ava fan, this is a definite pickup because it's really unique. And again, this is another one I understand why it didn't release in the US, but like I feel like give it a go. What's the worst that can happen, you know? Now we're going to move into the ones that I really do recommend you pick up that you should play. These are actually really fun. And the first one I actually want to cover is Evangelion the Third Impact. This is a rhythm music game that released on the PSP. And you go through with different soundtracks throughout the series, including the rebuild movies. It's like a DDR-esque, like, button mashing, like, game where you have to sync up different things in the music. There's parts when you're running as Ava Unit 1 and you have to time the music so he jumps over stuff. It's really cool and unique. You don't really need to know Japanese at all to play this game. Really fun. It's region free on the PSP. Only like 20-25 bucks on eBay. This is a definite buy for an Evangelion fan, and anyone curious on it, this is definitely one not to sleep on. It's a lot of fun, and I think you really enjoy this one. Whew. Now, the next one we're actually going to cover, I got to ask real fast. Any Smash Brother fans out there? Well, this is Battle Orchestra for the Evangelion for the PSP. Again, region free. It's a Smash Brothers clone with Evangelion. I'm not joking. You literally can pick like Ava Unit 1, Ava Unit 2. You can pick the freaking angels and just float around as like a diamond and just beat the crap out of each other in the locales of Evangelion. I don't know what else to say on this one. It is so weird and awesome, and there's no real reason not to buy this one in my opinion. It's like 20 or 30 bucks. And it's dumb fun. Like, this is definitely one to add. No Japanese needed to play this. Just beat the crap out of each other as Ava units. It's getting harder to find this one, so I would probably buy this one sooner rather than later. But man, this game is really fun. I enjoyed this one, so pick it up. And the last one I want to cover, in my opinion, this is the definitive Evangelion game. It's actually Evangelion Joe. And it is an actual action RPG about Evangelion. You get to go through the hangars, walk through Nerve, talk to people, level up your Ava unit. You get to do action combat with it. You get to impact the story with decision making you do in it, like with story elements where you're talking to people and stuff like that. It's an awesome game. It's just will need translation or a fan translation, or if you speak Japanese, but you can muddle your way through it. But it's definitely one that you don't want to sleep on, in my opinion. I had a blast with this. It is awesome Evangelion game, and probably the best in the series. Yeah, I would think so. Like, there's a couple other ones out there. My holy grail is to pick up the N64 Evangelion. It's not the best game. It's visually stunning for the 64, but it's not the best game. This is definitely probably one of the best Evangelion games ever released, and it's on the PSP. It's region free. It's like 30 bucks. I would add this one. It's awesome. And there you have it, guys. It's just a selection of Evangelion games that never released in the US. I wanted to cover like a series of games that I love, and I love Evangelion, and I think it's cool. Like, there's not a lot of videos out there covering like a lot of import Japanese games that never got released, and Evangelion, unfortunately, has never had a single game released in the West, so I thought it would be cool to cover. I know it's not my usual, like, pick up now type videos, although some of these may go up eventually over time, but, you know, sometimes it's good to do some stuff you want to do. Don't worry, I have a PS4 Hidden Gems video coming up on Wednesday. You're going to want to check that one out, and then, of course, the 360 will be out on Sunday, as usual. Got another load of those. I know you guys are hyped for it. So am I. I got to bring those games to you. You know, let me know. If you like this video, let me know. Let me know what you guys think of the new series Lost in Japan. throw it down below. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you keep the channel growing. It is amazing, and I thank you guys so much. But it's doing wonders. But that being said, as always, stay savage. I swear, Evangelion is the greatest and most fucked up anime of all time. You need to watch it.